But really, cost seg, just regardless, it makes sense to do. Why not keep that money in your pocket rather than paying it to the IRS, and either keep it in your pocket or use that to, cash flow your next investment and sort of help build your portfolio. So I always say that cost seg should never be like the only reason that you're doing an investment property. It should be the cherry on top.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Cody Crabb, and today joining me is AJ Lyons, partner at DIY Cost Seg, where he helps multifamily and commercial real estate operators across the country use cost segregation to improve tax strategy and get better cash flow. We're going to talk about what investors need to understand about cost seg, what it even is, where people can get it wrong sometimes, and how smart operators can actually take advantage of it and use it more strategically. AJ, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Cody. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Of course. Yeah. So my first question is, so we have a lot of people that listen to this show that are kind of new to the real estate world. They're looking at it and they're seeing all the benefits and they love the idea, but they're just learning about it now. Can you give us like a super quick summary before anything else about what Cost Seg is?
Yeah, totally. So Cost Seg is a tax strategy that accelerates the depreciation that you already get to take. So it helps you create passive losses, essentially, paper losses. So your rental may be actually cash flowing, but we don't want you paying that money to the IRS or to the tax man. Let's make it look like on paper that, the property isn't producing that income and you're just able to show a paper loss. But essentially, high level, it's like, if you imagine a pie, right now, when you place your rental into service, it's all in just one whole pie. It's not cut up into anything. So when a rental is placed into service, it's placed into service in long life. So that's over 27 and a half years for residential rentals and 39 years for commercial rentals. So you're getting a little bit every single year over that 27 and a half years or 39 years until the property's fully depreciated. What Cost Seg does is it comes in and it identifies the portions of that pie that we can accelerate per the IRS guidelines. So we go in and we say, hey, this slice here could be taken in 5 years. This slice here could be taken in 15 years. So we're accelerating that depreciation that you already get to take over the lifetime of 27 and a half years or 39 years. We're just accelerating how quickly you get to take that. And then with bonus depreciation in play, that's allowing you, when it's 100% bonus depreciation, to be able to take it all year one. So that's essentially what it is at a high level.
Okay, that's really helpful. So who's the kind of person that should really be paying attention to this? Like, what situation would you be in to be like, oh yeah, this is something you want to look into for sure?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, anyone who is in real estate investing full time or even part time at this point, there's really no reason to allow it to just depreciate straight line and let the government just give you a little bit back, every single year. Accelerate that depreciation. That's going to free up cash flow for you, whether that's to put that into new projects and into your next, real estate rental, or if it's just to keep a little bit more money in your pocket and not pay as much in taxes that year. So if you're in the rental game, it makes sense to do a cost seg, especially now that we've really opened up the space a bit more. Back in the day, people thought, it's only for rental properties that were worth multiple millions of dollars, millions of dollars spent, because in the traditional sense, a fully engineered cost segregation report, someone's going out to the site, they're coming back, it's taking months to produce that report, you're getting that report, and it's costing you, at a minimum like $5,000-$6,000. So it was really cost prohibitive for some of those lower single family residences, $300,000, less than that. The math didn't make sense when you're paying that much for the report. It ate up all the benefit that the report was giving to you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we've really tried to, allow more people to come into the space by lowering the price and change the way we do things.
All right, now let's do a full rewind and do well, usually I start with this, but just to kind of give some people some background about what Cost Seg is.
Yeah.
So tell us your story. How did you get involved in this? What led you here, and kind of what does your business look like today?
Totally. So I actually worked for our sister company about 10 years ago. We have a sister company that does the fully engineered cost seg reports. So I was in just the real estate industry as a real estate agent, property manager, that sort of thing to begin with. I got the job with our sister company and sort of learned the ins and the outs of cost segregation from them. So that was, like traveling 2 weeks out of every month and doing those site inspections to gather that information, come back, produce the report, and then do it all over again. About 8 years ago, we were just talking and we realized, with the way technology is going and the world's moving, some of these other industries just aren't keeping up, in that same vein. So we said, hey, we could bring cost segregation to a broader audience by bringing it online. And, instead of someone going out to the site to gather that information that would typically be gathered on the site visit, let's get that directly from the client or their CPA. So we built out, a bunch of forms where, we went through and said, hey, these are all the things that we're looking for in the checklist that we're using while we're out on site. Let's, just get that information directly from the client. And that's sort of how DIY was born. Obviously, it's not just me. I have other co-owners as well, and their backgrounds in engineering. The other one was a contractor for the state of Florida for over 20 years. And then we have another advisor who has their master's in real estate tax. So it's really a team effort, and just trying to bring cost segregation as sort of the intersection of engineering, tax, construction, real estate. So you need all of those components to come together and to create, a cost seg report. So I came more from that real estate background and learned the cost seg side of things, whereas some of the other co-owners, they came, from the architecture or engineering background and the construction background, also learned the tax side. And then we obviously have our partner who, focuses on the tax side a bit more.
Gotcha. Okay. So I like the team effort. That's a good way to frame it. So for an investor listening, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see investors make?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Obviously, we all find out about cost seg at a different time. So if you're just now finding out about it, don't feel like it's necessarily too late. There will be times when it is, and that's just because you've taken so much in straight line depreciation. If you bought the property back in 2005, it's already been 20 years. We can't accelerate anything into those 15 or 5-year categories because you've already taken it straight line. So there are times when we tell clients that come to us like, hey, it just doesn't make sense on this property because of how much straight line depreciation you've already taken. But if it's been 5, maybe even 10 years, it turns into a bit of a math problem that you're going to want to do with your CPA just to make sure that it's all making sense with how much you're paying for the report benefit that you expect to receive, and then, will it make sense? But that is one of the main things that we see is people just not knowing about it and it being a bit too late to jump in. Um, you know, or if it is in that like 5 to 10 year range, there are a few more like hoops that you'll need to jump through just in regards to a Form 3115 Section 481A adjustment from your CPA. That basically what that does is says, hey, I didn't know about cost seg, I know about it now. I want to go ahead and take that benefit. So they have to adjust your previous year tax returns via that form to allow you to say, hey, I know about it now. I got the report done. Let me apply this. If it's only been 1 year since the property has been placed into service as a rental, you could just amend your previous year's tax return. So it's a bit simpler at that point. But that's why we always say like the best time to do cost seg is when you first purchase the property and place it in service as a rental. Makes the most sense from a cost seg perspective, and it's sort of top of mind for you. You're in it, you're knowing all the details, then because you've just got the deal done. It's top of mind for you as well. So that's definitely one of the things that people sort of just miss out on, or make the mistake of, if we want to call it that, of just
Gotcha.
not
So
knowing
it's one of
about
those
it,
like
read it.
best time to start working out is 10 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great
Gotcha.
way to put it.
Yeah. Okay. So that begs the question then, is there like a situation where a property is too small or a deal is too simple or it's something like that where it doesn't make sense? Because that's the kind of thing where I like to zero in on those things for
Totally.
our guests, our audience.
So a few things to that point. One, with the traditional, fully engineered studies, there was definitely a point where it didn't make sense because, like we were talking about earlier, just that cost prohibitiveness of, if you're paying at a minimum $5,000-$6,000 and up from there, depending on the property and the cost basis and scope of the project, it's just not going to make sense for a single family rental, where you paid, depending on where you're at in the country, $150,000, $300,000, something in that range. What we've done with DIY Cost Seg is we've brought that price down. And one of the ways that we've done that is we're gathering that information that would have typically been gathered on a site visit directly from the client. And then utilizing our software to produce that report for them instantly. So I actually have a couple examples here of sort of like the really low end that we've still seen people
Yeah, I'd
that
love to
have
hear.
used
I'd love
our.
to hear a little bit about those.
Perfect. Yeah. So the lowest report that I've seen on our website run. So when I say cost basis, that's going to be purchase price minus land value, because land is non-depreciable. So we can't include that. We always remove the land value from the study. So someone came in with a single family residence in Kansas. Their cost basis was $37,000. For the whole property. Obviously, that's not indicative of the whole country. There are those pockets where you could find deals like that still. But we identified $11,000 in depreciation that we were able to accelerate for them.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
So what that turns into, and this is just an example, everyone's tax bracket and tax situation is obviously unique. So they're going to want to check in with their CPA, but say they were in the 37% tax bracket, that $11,000 in accelerated depreciation turns into $4,000 of actual tax benefit that first year, where they could reduce their taxable income by that $4,000. So with our website reports, on the residential side, it ranges from $495 to $995, depending on the cost basis of your project. As soon as price and land value are put in, it lets you know where you fall in that range. For this client, they obviously were on the low end of that range, so they only paid $495 for the report. So they still received around, $3,500, $3,700 in actual tax savings, for that report they purchased. In the past, that wouldn't have been possible with a fully engineered study, someone going out to the site. Just the cost that they would charge for that would have eaten up all of the benefit that that person could have expected to get from that property. On the
Gotcha.
other end, our highest project that we've worked with was a hotel with a $14.5 million cost basis. So completely other end of the spectrum. And we were able to identify 2 million in accelerated depreciation on that project.
Wow.
So, we could help either end at this point, just because of the changes that we've made in our process that we take with our online offering. I'd say our sweet spot is probably in the 150,000 to $1 million range. Like, that's where I see most of the reports coming in at, cost basis wise. But obviously we can help on either side of that as well, to as low as $37,000 and as high as, 16 million or more.
Yeah. Wow. So I think what I'm hearing is it's always worth it to at least do the math.
Yeah, and we
Like,
always we have like a simple calculator page and then sort of a more
awesome.
detailed estimate as well. We always want you to see like, hey, what is the estimated benefit of this report going to be to me before I make purchase? We always want you to be happy with the product and what you're going to receive, and just make sure that it makes sense before you actually, proceed with purchase.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right. So kind of moving into the next part of what I wanted to ask you. So in today's market, things are, people kind of are worried. People have expressed that to me on the podcast. They're saying rates are higher, margins are tighter. Did those things affect how we should be thinking about tax strategy in general, and especially cost seg, or does that not really affect it? It's like, hey, it's just some extra cash you can get in your pocket.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like when I've talked with some of the other co-owners or just people in the industry, people do cost seg when times are good and they just, want to save that money and not pay the IRS. It also makes sense when times are bad, and maybe people are thinking about it a bit more, when we're in a situation where interest rates are higher, and you're just looking for all of those strategies that you can use to maximize your return on investment. But really, cost seg, just regardless, it makes sense to do. Why not keep that money in your pocket rather than paying it to the IRS, and either keep it in your pocket or use that to, cash flow your next investment and sort of help build your portfolio. So I always say that cost seg should never be like the only reason that you're doing an investment property. It should be the cherry on top. Don't let it guide the investment fully. It's just another tool in your tool belt to use, on top of everything else that you're already doing.
Yeah, interesting. So, okay, let's say someone is, they own some rentals. They're looking, hey, maybe one of my properties might qualify for this. What is the very first step they should take? You said you have a calculator. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I would say that the first thing is just to look for a depreciation calculator. Like on our website, we have what we call our simple calculator. That's going to be about 6 to 8 questions that you fill in, and that's going to give you a more general answer, but a sense of like, hey, is it going to make sense for this property? Where, sort of on
How
the
far
chart
should
am
we
I going
dig
to
in?
land?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. From there, once you see that, that's when you can say like, okay, it's definitely going to make sense. Let me dive into this a bit further. And that's when you would go directly to our website, fill out the form that we have for that specific building type. And then that form asks, maybe 20 to 30 questions, depending on the building type. It may populate some more depending on some of your answers, like, are there site improvements? And you say yes to a pool. Well, then we're asking, is there a pool enclosure? And other stuff like that. So the number of questions ranges. But then that one is going to give you a, pinpoint even more, hey, this is going to be the benefit that they expect to receive. So let me back up a little. I guess before that, gather the info. If you don't have the info on the property right in front of you, make sure you get that. But it's all, like I said previously, sort of stuff that you should either know because, it's your property, you're in it, you're working on it, you just closed the deal, so you're really familiar with it. Or it's something that you can gather from, say an appraisal or other online sources like realtor.com, Zillow.com, et cetera, if you happen to be looking at it before you actually made the purchase. Like we
Gotcha.
said.
Okay. And where do people, if people want to work with you, where do they need to live? Is there a certain location? Are you nationwide? How does it work?
Nationwide, we've done reports for people that live in Alaska, Hawaii, and then the continental U.S. So all 50 states we've done reports in.
Awesome. So yeah, it seems like this might be worthwhile. I mean, if you're looking at tax time, this is a good this is a good time to kind of maybe you're stressing about taxes a little bit for next year. Yeah, this is a good time to look at this and get it moving now. Um,
Yeah.
so like where can our listeners find you online, connect with you, or get more information about Cost Seg and about your company?
Yeah, totally. So you can reach out directly to me at aj@diykostseg.com. That's my email address. I'm always there and available to answer any direct questions there. You can obviously go to our website, diykostseg.com, and, look for that estimate tool. And then I'm also on LinkedIn as AJ Lyons. So any of those work. And I can even provide, a meeting link where people could schedule a call with me if they wanted to talk about their property.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, AJ. I know our audience got a lot out of this because I certainly learned a couple things. If you, as a listener, if you did learn something, please go ahead and give us a subscribe, a like, a comment, all the things, and so you can get notified for the next episodes. AJ, thanks once again, and listeners, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Cody. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.